When I first started thinking about AI, I was really afraid of it. Like I was scared to death. But then once I started using it, I actually started seeing the opportunity. The opportunity is that, you don't have to go through the gatekeepers. And so for me, it was really important that we got involved in the process because I didn't want to be led by fear any longer.
Welcome back to another episode of More Than That. Everybody is talking about AI right now, including how it affects and supports jobs, art, and society in general. Today, we'll be talking to a titan who is shaping AI through design. But first, thank you Buick for sponsoring another episode. Head to Buick.com to see how the Buick Envista is leveling up the standard through impressive tech and head-turning style. We've been hearing it everywhere. AI is changing the game. From designing dream spaces to directing films, artificial intelligence is transforming the way we live, work, and create, whether we like it or not. But here's what got me thinking. How do we engage with this technology in ways that truly serve us? I've been curious, not just about the tools themselves, but about the people behind the innovation, especially the Black creatives who are shaping the direction of AI for the culture, asking intentional questions and using these tools to amplify our voices and not replace them. In this episode, we're joined by the brilliant Joy Fennell, a boundary-pushing creative futurist and a beauty industry veteran who is reimagining what's possible in this emerging tech. Joy is championing accessibility and representation in virtual spaces with her new AI studio, The Future in Black, where she leads with purpose and shows us how AI can be a tool for liberation and innovation. Welcome, Joy. It's you. How are you doing today?
I'm well. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for being here. I'm so excited. So you've got such a dynamic journey from makeup artist to an AI futurist. That's amazing. Can you walk us through your background and tell me a little bit about the thread that connects beauty, culture, and AI in your journey?
Sure. So I was a makeup artist in the fashion industry for about 20 years. However, about 12 years ago, I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, and it started to affect my ability to hold brushes. It started to affect my joints. So with that said, I slowly started coming to the realization that I could no longer do makeup in the capacity that I was doing it in. I was, contemplating disability. I was, but anyone that knows me knows that I was not going to just hand over my life. And then one day I was at a friend's house, my friend Sean and Mara, and Sean had a Oculus.
And yes, I had one of those. I've never used it.
Yeah, really?
Oh my gosh. I'm such a weirdo when it comes to technology. I'm like, put me back in 1982. Okay,
I understand.
A CD and cassette
honestly, I was the same way. Like, seriously, until I put it on and I saw possibility. And I was like, oh my gosh, I got so enthusiastic. I literally was like, this is the future. And then I immediately was able to connect beauty into it. And I was like, I think that this is a space where beauty can actually thrive in this space.
I love that something spoke to you and you followed it, because pivoting is hard enough. But for you to say, I still can find passion in what I know and love, and then take it to the next level of technology is amazing. And so now you have this AI studio, which is incredible, because I need you to break it down for me, because I don't know what that means, child. What is an AI studio? And I know it's called The Future in Black.
Yes.
Okay, so what is that for the people who are in the 80s?
So it is a studio. My goal would be to be more of a studio that focuses on film in the AI space and those kind of things, but also a media company. I want to produce content for us and, just show that we're out there also doing our thing as well. I love being around creatives. I love inspiring, also engaging creatives. But also creatives that look like us, and for me, it was really important to spread the word that we should somehow get involved in this in some way. And so when I started seeing how I was going into the technology field, I was like, well, now I want to know about creative technologists that look like us, like 3D people, AI people, AR people. How do I somehow get us work in this field? And so I'm really like, it's all well and good when you can refer somebody for something, but how can I get you paid? And so for me, that was really important.
Okay, so a big part of your mission with The Future in Black is about visibility, and you talked a little bit about that just now, but if you had to show us what representation in AI looks like in a single image or scene, what would we be looking at? Take us to that picture.
Ooh, that is, I think, honestly, for me, it was really important. So when I first started in AI, I would get back images that really made me angry. I would get back images, especially of Black women, where the features were really hard, really and I would be like, whoever is training these models do not look like us, you know? And so that for me is the image has to represent and look like it could be us, you know? And not saying that, I want it doesn't have to be total realism because it also could be fantasy as well.
Right.
But for me, that is what it is. It's the nuance.
I love that. We've got to continue to tell our stories. And as a Black woman in tech and beauty, these could be two very different energies that you found a way to blend. How do you blend those worlds in your work? Tell me about that process.
I tell a lot of people that if you have a certain skill set, you will do really well with it. So for me, it was makeup. So a lot of my work is beauty focused, and because I knew the nuance of what beauty brings, I know what skin texture I want to see. I know what a smoky eye is. I know, and a lot of people don't realize that when people who don't have those nuances, don't have those skill sets, create something that they think is it.
Yes.
But I talk to my photographer friends. I'm like, they know the camera speed that they need. They know they know the type of film that they like to shoot on. Like these are things that they know that to me, they add a whole nother level of just amazing quality. It's people that don't know that are just thinking that they know, but they have no idea.
So you understand that creatives also want to be a part of their work, especially us who are on camera telling stories. How do we utilize it without losing our opportunities as well? Like, what's the balance there?
Honestly, for us, we always have to create our own opportunities. We've had to do that since forever. And so I like to, tell a lot of people, I use Issa Rae's name as a verb.
LOL,
I'm like, listen.
Did you Issa Rae today?
Exactly. You gotta Issa Rae it,
You gotta Issa Rae it. I love
because what did she do? She went out and, somebody didn't give her opportunity. She went out and made her opportunity. And I feel like this is an opportunity where we can actually do the same, where we don't have to stand behind the gatekeepers. We can actually create our own things. And so for me, it was really important. We have to get involved in the process.
Technology keeps changing. From how we communicate to how we work, the smartest minds keep giving us new ways to make our mark on the world. Tech is, in many ways, a harbinger of how culture changes. In this era, we need creators, technologists, and designers who represent the many layers of society to shape the direction of AI. Coding with culture, creativity, and curiosity at its core, and using tech with boundaries, so that creation can continue to be ethical as it becomes more efficient and supportive to the creative process. Impressive technology and striking style is the essence of the Buick Envista, an innovative and sleek vehicle designed to reflect your style and forward-thinking spirit. Learn how the Buick Envista is exceptional by design at Buick.com. In our communities, there is a lot of fear around how AI could erase our culture and strip away our individuality. What are your thoughts on that?
First, let me say this. When I first started thinking about AI, I was really afraid of it. Like I was scared to death. I was like, because I remember hearing that once AI is introduced, the income for the Black community would go down to 0.
Whoa.
And I'm like, wait a minute. So why are we even bringing this out?
Right.
This needs to, like, stop
it now.
Stop it.
Pull the plug.
Like, who is in charge of this? You know?
Right.
And so when I started using AI with a lot of hesitation. But then once I started using it, I actually started seeing the opportunity. And so for me, I was like, okay, the opportunity is that, you know, you don't have to go through the gatekeepers. You can start to do the things on your own, and you can start to, you know, like create this life. And so for me, it was really important that we got involved in the process.
Yes.
Because we, you know, like, I didn't want to be led by fear any longer.
Yes, I think that's a really beautiful way to balance it out, because a world where technology doesn't have checks and balances could be very scary.
Yeah.
But we've seen a lot of the movies where the AI comes and we can't control it no more. It's taking over the world. Now, you know, our cars are shutting off. Everything that's connected to AI is being run by technology. Like, what do you say about those folks who are like, AI is going to take over the world?
Those are the folks that I think need to get involved in this. You know, I can't stress that enough. Like, even if you don't like AI, get involved, because then that means your voice is in it, to where you can say, no, wait a minute, where's the regulation on this? That's important.
Yes.
Fear is really valid. It's important. So my thing is, make sure people are in place that are going to check it, and make sure, like, hey, we constantly need to question this, you know? And I say that as an AI enthusiast, like, it does need to be questioned. It does need to have its checks and balances.
How do we show up in the checks and balances part? How do we balance the reality of this change because AI is here?
AI, in my opinion, was not introduced to the public in a good way. I felt like no one really explained what AI was, really didn't educate the public. It was here, y'all, this is something fun to do. And now just make your way with it. And it's still not really being explained. And that's why I tell people AI needs a publicist. I like to explain it from when I used to be on a set. It would have the styling, the clothes set up, it would be makeup looks.
Literally everything we have today.
It would be a mood board.
Yes.
Exactly. And so we would study the mood board, and then we would create what we wanted from the things that we were inspired by. And I feel like that's exactly the same way AI does it. It's almost like it works like how our brains work. It analyzes, it scans. That's exactly what we do.
Like, you had to be very descriptive, and
Exactly.
to the point where it was extra work for us.
Exactly.
So hopefully now your prompts have trained the model to be more inclusive of what our features are, what our nuances. Okay. Okay. For someone who's just getting started, even just talking through like what you were talking about, the nuance, what are you utilizing, the AI tools, you'd hand them and be like, all right, this is a game changer. This is what you need to start with. Talk us through a first timer's AI experience and what tools they should use.
So definitely I would say Midjourney. That's a generative art one that I really enjoy. When I first started using that one, I would be up until 6, 7 o'clock in the morning,
Wow.
just pulling things out the air. How would this look together? And, you know, just doing like smash ups. I am really into like making sure like we see joy. So I'm going to always start with the skin.
Okay.
I think skin is really important. I'm going to say like beautiful Black woman.
Beautiful Black woman. And then you might go to like, I heard you say smoky eye.
Yes.
You might give us a smoky eye.
Yes.
Okay.
I always like, I tend to want like natural skin, or like flowers are involved in the process. Something that's going to give it like a feeling of freedom.
Freedom, joy, beauty. I see where you're going with that. I like that. Okay. What about the folks who are not creatives? What about the folks who are just trying to make their lives simpler? How can AI help in that way?
Well, for me, I'm a fan of Claude or ChatGPT. You know, it's schedules, professional emails if you want to send out, gathering, let's say, for instance, you want to learn all the conferences that are going on that you want to go to in 2026. Have it gather all that information for you. An itinerary for a trip. that you're going on.
Wow.
You know, so it's like things like that you can also use it for.
Okay.
I think the main thing is that when you look at it through that lens, you see that it gives you back your time.
Now, I love that there is this growing understanding of what AI could be doing as far as creating a foundation for Black imagination to fly in ways that it's never done before. What would that really look like? Like in a perfect world, where could it go with Black imagination?
Well, I think in some ways, in a perfect world, we're definitely being consulted and paid properly.
Clock it.
I don't necessarily think that we necessarily have to have a whole nother system off on our own. It can be incorporated. So I'm a fan of, you know, you can use AI as a tool.
Yes. Okay. So we've learned a lot. Thank you for kind of breaking down what these different moments could look like. I've really enjoyed our conversation because, like you said, you came in a little hesitant. So I came in a little hesitant, but I am more open to the fact that it is here, you know? So looking ahead, if you could design the future of AI through a Black cultural lens, what would it look and feel like?
Oh, well, I think when it comes to beauty, like I really love the augmented reality space. I think that that's really important when it comes to beauty because, you know, you can go and look in a mirror and you could try on a lipstick or something like that. So I think when it comes to that, that's important. Also, training the algorithms on our features. That's an opportunity for a makeup artist to consult with a brand, you know, to create something. I think it's just that. I think it's making sure I'm using my voice, making sure I'm hiring Black creatives, making sure that they're getting paid what they deserve to be paid. My hope is that they recognize that they have the power to create whatever they want in this world, no matter what. You know, limitations are limitations, yes, but some of those are in your mind. For me, this is what the tools give, is an opportunity for you to create whatever you want without limitations.
Take the limits off your mind.
Anything.
Wow. And what can we create if there's no limits?
Exactly.
Okay. And the last question I have for you is, if Black voices aren't in the room building AI, what's at stake for the next 50 years?
Erasure. That's where the erasure comes in. Somebody else is telling our story, you know, and our nuance isn't there. Our vibes aren't there. That to me is what is at stake, because then somebody else gets to tell our story. I am over that.
Yes.
Ooh. No longer like you don't get to tell our stories.
You don't get to tell our stories, and you don't get to tell us what our stories are
exactly
meant to be, could be as well.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much, Joy.
Yeah.
You've been an incredible fresh breath of fresh air in this moment, and I'm really grateful for your expertise and your knowledge and even your just spirit around it. So
Aw.
thank you for being here today. And how can we support you in the work that you're doing?
Oh, well, definitely you can follow The Future in Black. That's always a good thing. And then also, honestly, get involved. Get involved. You know, that's my main thing, is I just want us involved in the process.
Thank you to Joy for sharing your insight on how you're engaging AI with purpose, creativity, and boundaries. It's powerful to see Black and Brown creators not just adapting to this new technology, but actively shaping it. Whether you're just starting to explore AI or already incorporating it into your day-to-day life, I hope this conversation reminds you our creativity is not irreplaceable, it's foundational, because Black imagination has always had the power to create new worlds of possibility and resilience. And right now, this moment with AI is offering us a backdrop to dream, design, and build exactly what we need. And that's a wrap. Thank you once again to Buick for making this episode happen. Learn more about the Buick Envista at Buick.com. Buick, exceptional by design. And next episode, we're shifting gears, leaning into ways to design a life that works for you. We'll be talking with content creator and cookbook author Natasha Green, who's sharing tips on how to lead with authenticity, flavor, and joy while removing the myth of perfect parenting. Did this episode help you feel more comfortable with AI or more scared? Okay, just tell me, because I'm still learning too, but make sure you all let us know. We want to hear from you. As always, you can check the show notes for resources from this episode and tap in wherever you listen to podcasts. Follow us on all socials and subscribe to our YouTube channel at More Than That Show. Thank you for tuning in to More Than That, where we are powerful alone, but unstoppable together.